All right, this video is for my procrastinators. I'm out of time, but I gotta get it done. Shout out to you. Now, I'm Brianca Jay. I'll be your host, and I'm gonna tell you the best way to write an essay when you're completely out of time. And I know you're on a time crunch, but before we begin, I gotta promote myself because I gotta get a little coin. So, if you have a sibling or somebody that needs a children's book, I'm the girl. Here. These are the 2 children's books I have for purchase. If you somehow need to get a website for your small business or know someone who does, that's me too. I have my own design agency, and there's so much more, as well as many ways to connect with me down in that description box. So make sure you check it out after you finish your essay. Now, let's get right to the point here. You out of time and you got an essay due. Like help me out, Bree. Like how I'm supposed to do this? Okay, first of all, breathe. You're okay. You have some options. Your first option is email your professor and make up some type of emergency. Leave your grandparents out of it. Make up some type of emergency. You were sick, something like that happened, and you just need a little more time. You honestly don't have to give a reason. Say, hey, I just kind of ran short on time, but I want this to be really well. Do you mind giving me just like a few more hours to get this done? I promise you won't regret it. Typically, your professor is going to say yes. Like, they're not going to say no because they know things happen. So if this works, that'll probably buy you a little time, at least a day or so, to get your shit in order. Now, we got a little bit of time, hopefully. We got a few hours to get this done. So the next thing we need to do here, after we decided we weren't going to panic and we're going to hit up our professor, we're going to try to think about like how we can get this done in a reasonable amount of time. And so the best thing to do is let's start with a plan, right? Let's reread our essay prompt and make sure we understand the question that we're supposed to write about. We don't have a lot of time to be creative, so we're going to go back to our good old formulaic organize your essay structure videos here. I think I'm going to link it here. I hope I remember to link it here. And we're going to use the formula, which is intro, body paragraph, thesis, right? Because we need to get this done, okay? Intro, we're going to read that our prompt and all of that. Now, if you're out of time, you probably didn't read the book. So what you really need to know is, Bree, how do I get the information I need without plagiarizing? A lot of people are going to run to a couple of different places. They're going to run to Spark Notes. They're going to run to Cliff Notes, Lit Charts. I understand. But I want to encourage you to try a different method that I found that works and also gives you a well-thoughted citation in your paper. Use the foreword of the book. That place is always chock full of information, and I'm going to show you if I can grab a book here. So when I come out of work, I got Life of Pi. So you can always look at Life of, so like this book for instance, I know I need to write an essay on it. I haven't even read this book, so I'm going to tell you how much information I can get from the front. Bam, I already got the author's name, the title, where it was written. All of that can be put in your introduction to enrich this thing. Author's name, title, where it was written, some of the praise for the work can be put in your introduction to kind of enrich your introduction. When you get into your body paragraph, you need to make a point and you really haven't read, you could think about the author's note. They always tend to some type of way tell us some of the more interesting processes of the book, and he talks about his own writing experience. So I would absolutely try to use that and use it to my advantage. I might talk about the history of the book or the reason for the book, or even use the author's notes to better enrich my service to the book. If you need to summarize the work at all, it's on the back. Right there, you saved so much time. You haven't read this book at all, but you were able to get a lot of information, one from the author's note in the front, as well as the summary in the back, and then of course the key details that talk about what the work is, where it was made, and all of that can enrich your introduction is right there in like the first 3 pages. If you do this, you're already kind of building your work up to be more enriched, right? The next thing you can do to get a paper out and you're out of time is to probably go to goodreads.com or another website of that nature to just get quotes, right? At this point, you need to be able to get quotes, or, and don't hate me, read a couple chapters, right? Go find out, okay, what are the key chapters that we discussed in class? What are the key chapters that are most noted in this work? And focus on those chapters only. This will also help you write a better paper. And if you happen to have a lecture about this course at all throughout class, use those notes to bolster your perspective and point of view. And this way, you can probably get a paper written a whole lot faster and still kind of get a good grade. Hey, but at least write something. Make sure you stay on prompt, and make sure that even if you don't reach your word count, that whatever you've written is well spoken, articulate, clear, concise, and following organic structure. And if you're doing that, word count isn't as important as content. So don't stress out that you need 3,000 words. If you have 2,500 words that make a really solid point, then go with the 2,500 words. I've never had a professor in all 6 years of college where they told me that I didn't meet the word count. And I can assure you, I very rarely meet the word count. So keep that in mind, and I hope that this helps you guys write an essay and get it done really quickly. Those are my tips and tricks.
Period! 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 Period!